AskReddit by Willie Neal. During their time in office, which US president would be able to do the most push-ups? Teddy Roosevelt. There are pictures of a young Teddy Roosevelt with no shirt. He was admired for his fitness at the time. When he was president, he practiced multiple martial arts. He was serious enough about it that he permanently damaged an eye. He had a couple of long vacations in the West while president. His tour guides had a lot of trouble keeping up with him. A lot of people in here sleeping on Gerald Ford. He played linebacker and center for two undefeated Michigan teams. Turned down offers from the Lions and Packers to go to law school at Yale. Dude probably did a lot of push-ups in his day. Colder gone pro if he didn't join law school. He's not one of those beltway pansies. Abe Lincoln was an absolute monster and honestly prolonged the Civil War by not going out and wrestling Lee himself. He did kill a lot of vampires though. History does not give him enough credit for that. I'd bet money on Teddy Roosevelt doing the most out of pure spite and willpower. Although, if we're talking pure spite, Andrew Jackson has to be in the conversation. Seeing as how George Washington was 7'4" and could easily bench press over 380 pounds for 10 reps, I'd have to go with Trump. I heard that motherfucker had like 30 goddamn dicks. No contest. President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. If Terry Crews wants to change his name, I'll vote for him. Hell, he doesn't even have to change his name. Probably Eisenhower old officer he may be, but he was still modern army and those not Marines practically live on push-ups. Probably Lincoln. In his younger days, he was a massively strong dude and a champion wrestler. Some of that was still with him by the time he became president. Now if you wanna talk somebody in the White House who can do push-ups, that would be Chef Andre Rush. https://wp-content/uploads/2018F30AB4-1EB-Andre-rush-5D08F308B_Andre-rush-5D0735-4F9D0BB_Underscore when Chef says no substitutions. Chef goddamn well means no substitutions. He does 2,222 push-ups every day in remembrance of the 22 veterans who commit suicide every day. While I believe he does a lot, 2,222 is just a ridiculous number, and more than likely to either eat into his ability to do his job or be really substandard push-ups. After seeing a shirtless pic of him in the Our President subreddit, I'm throwing Harry Truman into the mix. The man was shockingly buff. You can't just say that and not link the picture. No one knows more about doing push-ups than Trump. He won the push-up competition like 50 years straight at his golf course. His doctor also said he could do 1 million at a time. Everyone is saying it. Very smart and strong people all say he's the best. Big burly men on the street come up to him on the street with tears in their eyes and say this too. Obama is 100% getting slept on this thread. He is, but so is Harry Truman, and we can see from photos that he was straight up jacked when he was 62. Taft's belly would be on the ground supporting him mad full arm extension. That counts, right? It wouldn't be fair since he'd have gravity pulling him down harder. In the modern era, possibly Jimmy Carter. He was a naval officer and a farmer before being elected president at the, comparatively, young age of 53. Farm boy can pick you up and throw you like a bale of wet hay. I'm guessing that it wasn't Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Or Taft. Lincoln. And, having broken the record of all future presidents, he wrestled the rest of the bears and buffalo to death or exile. And then he rested. Probably the ones that served in the military. Eisenhower was older, but I could see him doing push-ups into old age to keep fit. Teddy Roosevelt was relatively young as president and pretty big into physical fitness. As for the last, definitely FDR. Woodrow Wilson and FDR tie for last. Wilson has a stroke and was basically unable to move for the last part of his presidency. Bush 43 was no slouch. Not sure if he'd win, but probably top 5. Now watch this drive. Dude's a legend. Definitely not William Henry Harrison, considering he spent most of his term in office confined to bed before dying. How was his skull strength? Dune presidents really couldn't keep it together in that department. Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy, and just to show off and because he didn't exactly hide his racism, he would probably get Obama to sit on his back for a couple. Obama. He was fit and had a naturally slender build. Dude was all gristle. Being strong and light, I'd say he could have pushed his own weight easily. Teddy Roosevelt might have given him a run for his money. He was a fitness freak and competitive. Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, Obama. Also my top 3. Teddy was an animal. Lincoln, a skilled amateur wrestler in his youth. Obama, an athlete who stayed fit. George Washington. Not even close. He was a beast. 6'8", weighs a fucking ton. Abraham Lincoln. Go read about what he used to do, like carrying baskets full of rocks around for no reason. The reason was tractor tires hadn't been invented yet. Obama. Skinny and fit, Barry is bringing it.